And you are listening to Adamant Eve. This is Saba.M, and you are listening to my interview with Sidney Starr. It is quite brave of you, especially in your industry. I know coming out as trans in hip-hop must have been frightening, was it not? Or?
Yes, very, very. You know, I definitely, I felt like I have a strong shield around me because I've been through so much in my life. And I definitely have to pat myself on the back for, you know, being brave to do it in that industry. Mm-hmm. Now, if it was in the pop industry or something like that, I think it wouldn't be so much of a oh, my God, you know. Mm-hmm. But it's very new to the hip-hop world. You know, that's a very new type of situation.
And continuing that, I mean, do you ever feel afraid for your own safety? In that respect, at all?
You know, I can't lie because I'm human. Of course, I do. But I'm a woman of God, so I feel that I pray. When I pray and I ask the Lord to protect me, that gives me all the protection that I need. And I know there's people around me that love me and, you know, that will protect me if anything shall happen, you know. Mm-hmm. So I definitely have a little bit of just a little fear sometimes of what people may try to say or do that, you know what I mean, that I may have worked for in the past or something. But I definitely have to say for most of the part, no, I'm strong and I feel like I'm okay. I'm not afraid. I'm still going to do what I love to do, which is to entertain, dance, act, you know, do whatever I want to do. I'm not going to stop just because you know something about me now that is kind of like personal, you know?
I mean, you've been doing a lot of interviews and especially on a lot of hip-hop radio in the States. Yes. So are you being asked any really invasive questions? Because I know everyone's really interested in, you know, your past relationships or whatever, but do you get to the point where you feel uncomfortable? Like,
of course. Yeah. It has been times where, honestly, sometimes the interviews can get to the point where they try to ask these off-the-wall questions. Mm-hmm. And it gets to the point where in my mind, I'm like, why are you asking me this? Mm-hmm. But I'm strong, and I feel like this is what this is what and being in the limelight right now, what I know that's what I'm going to have to go through. Mm-hmm. So it's not like I'm afraid of it, but it can be nervous. Like I don't want to be mean to the people that are interviewing me, but I feel sometimes I can say, you know what, I don't think that I should be answering that. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Totally.
It can be to the point where you might feel like, okay, I'm going to hang up now, but I would never do that, you know?
Yeah. You're trying to step away from that, but
from it, yeah.
How do you feel about people stepping away from you and being like, we've worked together once, or it was just a picture, or like, do you feel any betrayal in that sort of way, that people sort of step away from you as soon as it gets a little scary?
Of course. I definitely feel, I can tell you this, in a way, I feel very, kind of sad a little bit about it, like, and hurt. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, but before all this, you were giving me all this attention and, wanted me to do this and wanted me to do that, Mm-hmm. But that's just to show that's not their true self. Like, you just showed me who you really are. Mm-hmm. And of course it could be hurting, like, whoa, so now I'm not what's up no more,
Yeah.
It can be hurting. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because it is very brave of you to step forward, but not everyone is ready to be that brave.
No, everyone isn't. And I already knew that I was going to have some people to not be on my side anymore and to kind of like be different towards me. I was ready for it. And like I said, I've been through a lot in my life, and I feel like if I hadn't gone through what I hadn't gone through years ago, I don't think I would have been able to do this. And I think I probably would have like kind of broke down, because if you haven't noticed that a lot of bad things, people have said a lot of bad things about me, made bad videos, and to try to down me and call me all sorts of names. But I don't know if you can tell, but it hasn't affected me at all. I'm still happy. I'm still the bright person that I have been before it came out. And what they're doing to me, actually, they're making me laugh when they make these videos about me, because it's showing me that they're spending so much time on me to make a video. They're editing and taking my pictures and, talking about me. That's just showing me inside you must really have something for me or something,
Okay, I also want to ask if you have any advice for any young trans people out there.
Of course, I do.
Want to be an advocate.
To people that are probably around 14, 15 that are transgendered, because that's when I started, around 13. Please don't be ashamed. There's nothing wrong with you, because I'm sure some of you guys are probably thinking, like, is this normal? It's okay. Be who you are. If you are, if you were born a male and you feel like you're a female, then you're a female. You may have been born in the wrong body. That's how I look at it. Be who you are. Don't fall into people telling you don't do this. Even with the family, like, even if people have family members that tell you to don't do it, don't listen to them. Be who you are. And I think what the hardest thing that I went through when I was younger were my peers when I was in high school and in school. Like, don't pay any attention to the name calling, because that's what's going to happen. You're going to have to go through the name calling. Just be able to know that it's going to be over soon. This is a process. It's a long process that you go through. And that's why it's called transitioning. You're going to go through different stages, So I just say be happy, be comfortable with yourself, and know that it's okay. Like, just look at me. Once you get out of high school and are able to show who you really, really are and show the world, and you can do it even in high school, I say go for it, and you'll be fine. Just be able to love yourself. Just love yourself, and don't even care what anyone else has to say about it. That's what you have to do, and stay strong.
I do want to ask you if you have any sort of thoughts on women in hip-hop modeling or dancing. Do you have any forewarning? Because it is sort of seen as, especially in modeling.
Well, I can say this, in the hip-hop field, doing the modeling or like video dancing or stuff like that, it's a very tough field. Like, honestly, like, and what I'm saying, not tough to really get into, but it's tough because you have to worry about a lot of people trying to hit on you. You have a lot of guys that want to tell and sell you a dream too as well. Like, you do this, I'll make sure you get in this video, and it can be, it's a rough field. It's a rough field. And I think a lot of the girls that are in it, they kind of get caught up with the groupie type thing, and they kind of get with the rappers and do what they tell them to do. And I feel like it is, you have to be strong to be in that industry. And if you're not, you're going to get caught up, and you're going to probably like regret a lot of things, like at the end of the day, like, why did I do that? I definitely, it's money in it, but then again, it's a consequence with dealing with a tough industry. You have the consequences. It's basically a man-dominated, industry. I'm more than being with a rapper, or sleeping with rappers. It's more to Sidney Starr and than her just being transgender. That's the one unique thing about me. But I'm also very talented. That's what I want people to know. There is more to Sidney Starr than being the transgender, woman that has slept with a few people in the industry, Yeah,
I totally understand. All right, so thank you so much for doing this with me.
Thank you. I enjoyed this interview.
And I really hope you found that interview informative. My name is Saba.M, and this was my feature with Miss Sidney Starr. And I hope that you follow her on Twitter at twitter.com/Sidney Starr Dance. If you Google Sidney Starr, you will definitely be able to find that. She also has a MySpace page. that you can find linked off of her Twitter as well. You should also follow us on twitter.com/AdamantEve if you have a suggestion or an idea of who I should interview next. Thank you so much. This was Saba.M.